welcome to Knitting Blooms. My name is Tina and this is episode number 62. And today is Friday, July 6th. And this may be another short episode for the sheer fact that it is hot outside. You will notice that I am not in front of my yarn cabinet. And unfortunately for the next few weeks, you probably won't be seeing my yarn cabinet because the basement is in complete disarray. On July 4th, when both Steve and I had the day off, we took the time to start taking down the ceiling. We have a long list of things that need to be done between now and the time that the furnace is installed on July 25th. And we just need to get it done. I prefer to get things done ahead of time, and then if I have extra time closer to whatever it is that I'm doing, then I can relax. So for the next few weeks, we're just going to be plugging away at all the things that we need to do before getting the furnace installed, so it's going to be kind of crazy. I'm actually recording in my living room, and I'm hoping that the busyness of my couch will kind of distract you a little bit, because I know that the yarn goodness behind me typically kind of distracts people a little bit. But this is what we have to deal with, and it is hot. We have an air conditioning unit in this window over here to my right. However, I have turned it off because it would be quite loud, and there's no reason to deal with that. So we'll see how it goes. We looked at the thermometer just before I sat down, and it's 105 degrees outside. Now it's a comfortable 78 inside with the AC on. However, the AC is turned off now, so we'll see how quickly the temperature rises. So, yes, the basement is in disarray. The house is pretty much all in disarray. The upstairs is still in shambles from the installation. The drywall is all up, but it kind of stopped there because now we have to kind of redirect our efforts to getting ready for the furnace and AC. But after July 25th, hopefully they'll get it. They said that they think that they can get it installed in one day, but I would think at least by the 26th we will have central AC, and putting everything back together again will be so much better than having to take it apart, because we'll have central AC to keep us cool while we do it. So the next few weeks, or probably the next couple of months, I'm going to have limited knitting time. I think I mentioned last week that we've been, getting up in the morning, having coffee, breakfast, what have you, and then getting to work about 9, 10 o'clock or so. We did this on Wednesday, on the 4th of July. That's what we did. We got up, we got to work probably around 10 o'clock, and then we worked till around 3. No, it was about 4 o'clock. But we got quite a bit done, but I think that's what the weekends are going to look like for the next few weeks. And then I have time in the evening to knit or spin or what have you. And then during the week, we might do small projects here and there, but mostly it's going to be on the weekend. Anyway, I wanted to take a moment and thank you all again for all your comforting thoughts and what have you, due to the loss of my grandmother. I was in DC this past weekend, and it was a very emotional weekend, and really that's all I can say, is that it was a very emotional weekend. We did get to see lots of family that I haven't seen in probably 8 years or so. So that was nice. we were there, or I was there, during the storms that happened in D.C. You may have seen my plurk, I think it was on Saturday, about all the power outages. It was unbelievable how many people were without power. But everything went well. They had to change things up a bit for the funeral service on Saturday because we were all expected to go back to my grandmother's house after the funeral, and they had no power at my grandmother's house. So that didn't happen. We were able to get all the food from her house and bring it back to the funeral home, and they set up some rooms for us to use at the funeral home because they did have power and AC. And they ended up doing the service inside rather than graveside because it was just stifling hot. I think they did most of the service inside, and then we went outside for maybe a 10-minute prayer or what have you outside before coming back inside for the luncheon. So they did have to kind of scramble a little bit to figure all that out, but it worked out in the end, and that was great. And then on Sunday, we had a church service celebrating her life with all of the members of the church that she had been a member of for about 60, I think close to 65 years. Anyway, I came home on Monday, and it's been like a whirlwind since then. Tuesday I went to work. Apparently we had a bunch of storms in Detroit when I was gone, and so work has been extremely busy this week because we get busy when there's storm damage. Apparently there was some golf ball size hail that came through here south of Detroit on Sunday, so we've been doing that. In fact, one of the guys was supposed to be on vacation. They worked all day on the 4th. He was supposed to be on vacation yesterday and today, and he's been on roofs both days doing roof inspections. So it's been absolutely crazy. Also, and then I told you we did all that work on Wednesday when I was off. So it's just been crazy. So I haven't had much time to knit at work either. Yeah. With these storms, with this weather the way that it has been, I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I have gotten back to my 5 a.m. workouts. I got up yesterday and this morning to do my my walking. I ran a good bit of this morning, but I walked mostly yesterday, just because I don't like to push myself. It's been a week since I worked out, and I don't like to push myself too hard, you know, because I end up pushing myself too hard, and then I get injured, and then I don't work out for weeks. But I did start that again yesterday. I did take Tuesday off because I had not been sleeping very well when I was at my mom's house, and I figured I just needed a day to sleep in. I am contemplating starting some charts like Kimberly from Sock Bunny Knit and Fit does for like push-ups and sit-ups, because I've been slacking on the upper body weight training workouts and stuff like that, and I really need to get back to doing that sort of thing. But you know, when I'm running, I just get out there and I run, and then I just am done. But I do need to get back to doing some push-ups, and I think I might make some kind of a chart and some incentives or something to get me motivated to do my push-ups and what have you. You'll probably see the cats more today because they can get up and walk behind me. Crystal's right over here. She's trying to decide if she wants to come over here. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm trying to decide if I should do that. That type of thing doesn't typically motivate me. My motivation excuse me, comes more in the benefit of doing the exercise, but so far that hasn't been working for me. I have also, in the past week or so, decided that I need to learn how to read faster. So I've been reading a kind of like a speed reading book, how to increase your reading speed. I've tried this in the past, but haven't had much luck, but it's mostly because I never stick to it. So apparently I read about average, based on the test that I took at the beginning of the book, like a nationwide average, what have you, but I just feel like I read really slowly, so I'd like to try and increase my reading speed. So if you have done any reading courses where you can increase your reading speed without losing comprehension, I'd really like to know about it. If you've read a book, if you've taken a class, done something online, whatever, I'd really like to hear about your successes with that, because I've got a couple of books. I'm trying to go through one book and then see how that goes, do all the exercises and what have you, and then maybe go through another book after that, depending on how well it increases. But yeah, if you had some successes with speed reading or increasing your reading speed, I'd love to hear about that. Today at work, because my boss was not there, I was able to watch some podcasts, which is the first podcasts that I have watched since last Thursday. Because we had no power at my mom's house, for a whole day, when we weren't at funeral services, we didn't have internet or anything like that. We had our phones that had access, but that was it. And so I didn't watch any podcasts, and then I've just been so swamped since I got back. But today I watched some podcasts, and I tried to go through and see which one of the podcasts. I kind of knew most of the podcasters that were going to SSK, and I started watching them, and I heard them mention other people that were going to SSK, and I went and watched their shows, and it was great to see everything that happened. I loved Amy from Knitting in Circles. She had a link to her Flickr photo group, and I checked out those photos, and Diane had a whole slew of photos at the end of her podcast, and it was just a lot of fun to live vicariously through them, because I couldn't go to SSK, and it looked like it was a lot of fun. It really did, and I know that everybody had a blast, with the market and all the classes. It just sounded like the most fabulous time ever. So I really liked being able to watch everybody and see all their stash enhancements and what have you, even though I couldn't get any. So that was a lot of fun. I do want to mention that we do still have one full retreat spot open for Knittopia, other than the 3 for each weekend that will be drawn in a lottery come September. You can still put your name on the list for the lottery. I'm not exactly sure when I'll draw it. I'm thinking the first weekend in September, but as we get closer, I'll decide what I want to do. So, yeah, and then if you get a spot, you can have the option to extend into the week if you want to come longer than just the weekend. It sounded like a lot of people from SSK, and exactly what I have found in the past was that a 4-day weekend is just not enough. That's why we have the week and a half, which is absolutely wonderful. The first 2 years I did Knittopia, we only did a 4-day weekend, and by Sunday afternoon when we were leaving to go home, we were like, oh man, wouldn't it be so nice if we could stay for another week? And so the 3rd year we did the full week, and it was awesome. So it's kind of by the end of the retreat, after a week and a half, you know, the people that stay there the whole time are ready to go home by Sunday. But it is a great time. So let's see what I have to show you today. I'm going to do the drawing for the Charity June at the end of the show. I've already drawn the numbers. And I didn't draw them last week because I was podcasting a few days earlier than I expected, and it was a good thing too, because I think there was quite a number of people that posted their finished charity projects after I podcasted on Thursday morning. So let's jump right into my works in progress. Actually, I have a finished object. Last week I was almost finished with the Through the Loops mystery shawl, and I had thought that I would have enough time at work on Thursday to finish it up, but I didn't quite get there. I think I had like 2 rows to go, and then the bind off. So I didn't finish that. I did take it with me to DC. I didn't finish it there either. I only took 3 projects with me to DC, and I only touched 1 of them. But I did take this with me, and here it is in its finished glory. It has not been blocked because I just finished it today, and I can't really see how the lighting's gonna work. I do have my lights up here, but it's a little difficult to see. You'll be able to see it a little bit better next week when I block it, because I did just cast it off today. But I had that much to go when I podcasted last week, and I did work on it on Thursday, but I didn't quite get it done. So that much to go. So I had like 10 rows or so of the 4th chart, and then the final, I think it was 6 rows of the edging. So I will get this blocked, well, maybe this week, because we are back in the spare room, because upstairs is again in disarray. Our bedroom is in disarray from the drywall, and with all the dust and everything that has been up there, and then everything that we still have to do with the mudding and then sanding again, it's just too much work to try and clean it up and be up there and then make it dusty again. So we've swept up and stuff, and we have it blocked off so the cats can't get up there and get themselves in trouble. But I would have to use the spare bed. So hopefully things seem to dry pretty quickly, especially if I have the fan on in that room. So maybe if I remember to do it first thing when I get up in the morning, like over this weekend, it will dry by the time we go to bed. But there it is, with as much as you can see it. Like I said, I will block it hopefully this week. I really like how this top portion came out, and as I was looking at it today, I was envisioning another shawl that I might kind of adapt this pattern to, and kind of expand on that top section. You know, take that top section, start the shawl like that, and then change the bottom section for a different kind of pattern. Anyway, that's where I am on that. I still had a bit of yarn left, but there's no way that I would have been able to do that final, if I wanted to do that final 5th section. It was another 40 rows. Seriously, I don't think there's any possible way that I would have been able to get that done with what was left. So I will use that in my sock yarn blanket and make little sock blanket minis. So that is my finished object. And then I have a hoe. The one project that I worked on this weekend was my Just Ducky socks, and let me just make sure that I'm not, it appears that I have stabbed my second sock with the first needle. Okay, so here, this is actually the second sock. I was down here just before, actually, when I left for DC, I was up to where the heel was. But the last time I showed you this project, I was here. So, and I had worked up, I have the heel and the top of the sock. And they are my typical length, where I fold them in half and then start the ribbing approximately where my toe ends. I did the heel, well, the first time I did the heel, I was doing it in the car on the way to the funeral service. This is the morning after the storm, and we were in a bit of traffic trying to get there because all the traffic lights were out. There were trees in the road. We had to be rerouted from like the southbound lanes to the northbound lanes of the street. It was crazy. So I pulled out my sock, and I originally started working on this sock, which is still on the leg. This is where I was on the last time I showed you. I originally started working on this, and then I thought, well, maybe I should work on the other one so I could get the heel done just in case I wanted to work on it while I was at the funeral home. Well, I started working on the sock, or the heel. I got almost done. I think I had like 2 more stitches to pick up, and I realized that I forgot to change from the yarn that I had been using to the outside of the ball for my short row heel, so that the stripes continued up in that fashion. So of course I ripped the whole heel out, and at that point I just put it away because we were just about to the funeral home at that point. And so I made that mistake, but then when I picked it up, I think it was later that night, I picked it up again and picked up the right yarn and knit my heel, and then was able to continue up. And I finished this sock. Actually, I started casting it off last night, and then it was time to go to bed, and I finished casting it off today. So that sock is done. That is my hoe. And this sock is nearly done, with just a bit of the leg left to go. We'll see. So there you go. When I match up the heels, they don't quite line up exactly, but that's not that big of a deal. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that these were hand-dyed, the self-striping thing. And Kagi did this, and to be honest, if I had done it, it would have been really even further off than this little bit. But it's to be expected. We're not professionals. We're, actually, it lines up, well, no, because the heels really line up there. So it's not exact, but if you put it side by side, the striping is good. I thought that I had gotten the toes pretty even, but maybe I screwed something up on the toes. But anyway, there it is. I have about that much more to go on this leg, and it goes pretty quickly. Actually, I took the shawl that I made for my mom to her this weekend, and she loved it. I actually took the extra yarn with me, thinking, well, maybe she would like to knit her own socks. And so I was going to leave the yarn with her, and as we're, I finished this whole, from the heel all the way up in, you know, I think I had like maybe this much to go from about here. In the time that I was there, she was like, well, gosh, you really whipped those out. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't take that long. But she's been working on a pair of socks for my niece since January. And so I told her, I said, I can take the yarn back and knit your socks for you, because you'll have them by winter, versus if I leave them with you, you might not cast them on until winter, and then it will be 2 winters from now before you have them. So so I did bring the yarn back, and I will be knitting her some socks. Those will be the next socks on the needles after I finish the effervescent socks, which again didn't get any love this week because I just didn't have the brain power for it. So those are just Stucky, and golly, I've got my needle stabbed through everything in here. They were on a size 0 needles, and I believe this was Knit Picks Bear. Okay, so I have got to move this book. I've got this sitting on my lap, and it's hot. Just Stucky. All right. The next thing is the color affection, and I did work on this shawl today. I did not work on it any other day. This is one of the projects that I took with me to DC, but I really just needed brainless knitting, and the socks were the perfect thing. Even though this was brainless knitting, but I had to think a little bit because I had to remember where to do increases and what have you. But here is my progress. I got a couple of repeats done. How many? 1, 2, 2.5 repeats basically. So there it is. The stitch marker is where I was last week. I'm getting very excited about adding the black, which is the final color. This is the Knit Picks Glimmer, Stroll Glimmer that I'm using. And I'm using the black, what's this color? The gray is Chrome, and the pink is Runway. So it's turning out very nice. I am using a yarn over for my increases, and I'm adding an extra yarn over on the first row of the color to add a little bit extra give on the edge, which seems to be working out wonderfully. I had added an extra yarn over on the first row, and then the first and second colors, the first row, the first 2 colors here at the edge, but then I also left extra, and so I have a little bit of an extra loop here, but then I kind of figured it out and worked out the kinks, and I like how it's turning out now. But it is very fun to knit. It goes very quickly. Like I said, I started this afternoon, just picking it up. And this is one little piece that I don't really like. I think I might try and snip that off. It's just like an extra little fuzz on that really stands out that I don't like. But I might be able to just snip that off. Normally, if I had noticed it right away, I probably would have cut the yarn, but I probably was thinking that I could get it to fall to the back, but look, it's just coming right to the front every time. Anyway, I'm really enjoying knitting this. I did have to go back to the pattern because it had been a couple of weeks since I had worked on it, and I forgot what it was exactly that I was doing. But as soon as I looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, and then I was able to pick it right back up again. So I am looking forward to adding that black color in there, and hopefully I will get that done. I think I figured out I have like 5 more repeats. This would be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 5 more repeats. Well, 5.5 because I'm only halfway through this final one before I start doing the short rows and add the black. But hopefully that will happen this week, and I will have more to show you as long as I have knitting time to do that. Which, you know, like I said, it's going to be limited, but I'm sure I will get some knitting done. Crystal, can I see my notes? You want to come sit over here on my lap, even though you're hot? You're so cute. Sit on my lap. I know you want to. I guess she doesn't want to. I'm wearing shorts, so she doesn't like to sit on bare skin. You're crazy. Yes. Come sit up here so they can see you. Okay. So those are really what I've been working on. I have not done anything more on my summer solstice shawl because, oops, I forgot this was in here. I needed to, I still haven't woven in the ends of my Pamua shawl, so that was still in there. But I have not done anything more on the summer solstice because I wasn't really liking how the nups were turning out. I was doing the 3-stitch nup. I will give you a quick view of what it looks like. But I wasn't liking how it was turning out, and the beads weren't working because the hole didn't seem to be big enough. So I ordered some more beads. This time I ordered the beads from Fire Mountain Gems. And I tried them yesterday. I only tried one, and it appears that they just might work. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to rip this out. I did check online and looked at some of the spoiler pictures of this shawl, and I really do like it a lot better with the beads. So I guess I'm going to rip this out and then start with putting the beads in it. And if it turns out that the beads just don't work, this pattern is going into timeout. But here's the beads that I got to go with it. It looks like the beads are almost the same color, and they are, but I think the beads are slightly darker. But on the camera, it looks like they're about the same color. But I think it'll be fun. With the beads, I thought about doing just clear beads, but I think I'm gonna like these. So I'm gonna rip that out this week and see how that goes. I'll put this back in this bag because we have to protect the knitting, and if knitting is left out, kitties eat it. Right? So those are my Web. Steve is coming out of the computer room and doing a little dance over here. I have one stash enhancement. Well, it's not really stash enhancement, but it's a bag enhancement. With the summer solstice knit along, Pitaloop was running a special on her large wedge bag. And I kept going to her shop. I don't know, I think I saw somewhere where she had a shop update or something, and I went and checked out, and I found this bag. It was so cute. Pink and green. How could I not pass this up? Is that what I want to say? How could I pass this up? Anyway, the heat is getting to me. My brain is being boiled. It's pink on the inside, a nice pink polka dot, and the pink and green owls. It is so cute. I love it. This is my first Pitaloop large wedge bag. I got it when I came home from DC, and I'm excited to try it out, to actually use it for a project. So it's like I said, it's my first Pitaloop wedge bag, and I hear Diane talk about it all the time, how much she loves these bags. So when I found one that I really liked the fabric on, I could not pass it up. Not that the other bags aren't cute too, but you know, for me, it's all about the fabric too. So I love it. I can't wait to put a project in it. I'm not one to really transfer projects once they've been in the bag. I don't know why. I'm just kind of weird that way. So it'll have to wait till I start a new project. Crazy. Okay, so let's talk about... Oops, Sammy got scared. Let's talk about Tour de Fleece. I have been spinning. I did not spin Saturday, Sunday, or Monday because I did not take my wheel with me to DC. I had thought about it, but then it was just going to be too much trouble. So I did not take my wheel with me, so I didn't spin for the first 3 days of the Tour de Fleece. But when I got home actually, I did spin on Monday night. When I got home, I did some spinning. So I just didn't spin for the first 2 days. But I finished my first bobbin of the Wool Gatherings. Polworth, I think. Yep, Polworth top. It's this fiber in the colorway like 03081101. I'm guessing that's probably like a date. Maybe. But there it is. It's purple and green and yellow, and it's beautiful. So I finished the first bobbin. What day did I finish that? A couple days ago. Maybe on the 4th of July, after we did all of our stuff. And I have started the second bobbin, which is right here on the Sidekick. So there's the second bobbin. And I can't really tell if that is focusing, but hopefully it is. So I've gotten quite a bit done, and I have this bit left. I haven't weighed this to see how much I have got left, but it's coming right along. And I did post a picture prior to when I started getting to the green. I did post a picture on the thread, the chatter thread, just to kind of show you what I've been up to. But I'm hoping that I can get the rest of this spun. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend because it's going to be a busy weekend, but maybe sometime during the week I'll get this spun up, and then I'll have to choose something else to start. But keep those photos posting. Keep posting your progress on the Tour de Fleece for prizes thread. I did post 3 bumps of fiber, or 3 braids of fiber, that are going to be for prizes for this challenge. So go and check those out. I posted them both on the chatter thread and the for prizes thread. So you can check those out. And if anybody decides to make a donation for prizes, we may have some additional prizes. But you can post every single day. Post your progress. Post a picture of your progress. You know, let us know what you're working on. And I'm really enjoying checking all those out. So the final thing that I have for today is the prize drawing for Charity June. There were 79 entries into the thread. So I did a number generator from 0 to 79. And I used the new number generator that I found from watching Knitting in Circles. And I have so much fun with it. And it's because all you have to do is shake the phone to change the number. So I thought that was fun. Anyway, so the first prize is going to be $10 in patterns, giftable patterns on Ravelry. So you can do any combination if you want to do 5 $2 patterns or 2 $5 patterns or whatever, up to $10. The winner was number 14, and I have no clue how to pronounce her Ravelry name. It's XHANTIPPE, and her name is Stein, and she's from Norway. So congratulations, you have won $10 worth of patterns on Ravelry. So get in contact with me. Let me know which patterns you would like to receive, and I will get those out to you. The second winner for Charity June was, and you know what, I probably should have had my iPad here so we could have looked at, Sammy, you're not supposed to do that. Stop scratching on the couch. So we could have seen what the people made. Anyway, the second winner is for $20 for an Etsy store of your choice, and that was number 71, Miss Sweet Peach. So that is Audrey. Audrey comes to my knit club. She lives in Royal Oak, Michigan. And so congratulations, Audrey. You have won $20 for an Etsy store. So go and check out the Etsy stores and let me know what you would like to receive. And the final prize is for a set of stitch markers. I purchased these not too long ago, and I'll take them out of the bag because I think it'll be easier to see. Unfortunately, actually I think I'll just pull the needle out of here. Not the needle with my socks though. That would not be good. But of course, it's not coming out. So I'll just slide them on here. But these are the stitch markers. That's the prize. They are cupcakes. They're so very cool. I had a hard time deciding which stitch markers I was going to give up, and I still didn't want to give up these, but it was either that or order more stitch markers, which I probably will do anyway. So those are the stitch markers. They're 5 cupcakes, and they go to number 21, Terry Knits. So congratulations, Terry. She is from Rolette, I think it's pronounced, Texas. So congratulations, Terry. You have won the stitch markers. So get in contact with me and send me your address, and I will get those in the mail for you. So congratulations to everybody, and congratulations to all the charities, because they got a lot of great things this month with that that knit along, and we will definitely be doing that again at some point. So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to turn the AC back on, and Steve has already mentioned something about going to dinner, so I just have to decide where we want to go. So have a great week. I hope your knitting blooms. I hope I have time to knit. Like I said, most of my knitting is going to be done in the evening after work or after we finish doing stuff around the house for the day. But hopefully I will have some good progress to show you on my projects next week. So again, I hope your knitting blooms, and I hope you have a great week. Bye for now.